Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Monday, May 14th, 2021, and you're listening to episode 116 of the Can I Say Something podcast. I'm your host and a recluse with a juicy caboose, Damien. Joining me today, the return of...
I am Ditch!
Today on the show, we will be discussing, with possible spoilers for all things involved, what we've been watching and listening to, including the first episode of Loki, Love, Death, and Robots Season 2, Mayor of Easton, possibly even more, right into the show, bicycle@gmail.com, bicycle on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, rate and review it on Apple Podcasts, tell a friend, family member, stranger. Dion, welcome back, buddy. How you doing?
Hey man, I feel like I never left. How you doing?
Oh, fucking fantabulous. Rested up, ready, and raring to go.
Yeah, I rested up too, but my fingers still don't work. I could have put some applause in there, but I didn't,
Yeah. How was
your
vacation?
I hear the applause of my return in my head. I am my biggest fan.
How was your vacay? What'd you get up to?
Oh, actually, a whole lot of nothing. It was just, it was just a nice recharge the batteries moment.
Yeah.
Actually, I was like having health issues too, so it worked out that we took a break when we did because it was burnout.
Yeah, absolutely. How is the health issues going? Are you dying? I'm
not dying. Oh, that's great.
That's a plus.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I still could be.
Okay.
I don't know. No, it's not. It's not death. It's not deadly stuff. Diverticulitis is a possibility. I'm not. Well, I had a problem with my liver, but that went away, so that's good. That probably could have been a lot worse.
Right.
But yeah, the other one is just kind of like change up your diet. Maybe you'll feel better. If it's worse, maybe you'll need surgery at some point in your life. But just a constant cramp in my stomach. It's great.
Oh,
fun times.
Yes. Yeah. I get that too. Then I take a big poop and it usually goes away.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's actually one of the things. It's like, oh yeah, if you poop, you feel better. And it's like, yeah, I do feel better. And then like 30 minutes later, it's like, it's back. Just playing with you. Because you're never actually cured of it. You just manage it.
Oh, yeah. Right, manage it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that health update. Let us know if you
thanks,
changes within.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks
for being concerned.
Yeah, no problem.
How are you? Yeah, what have you been up to?
Quite a bit actually. Did a solo podcast by myself. I don't know how many people listened to that.
I heard that. I listened to that.
Hear that. That's good. Thank you for listening. You were the one guy. I had the one ping on the Anchor app. It said you have one.
Not true. Andy listened too.
I don't think so. I think you listened to the interview podcast. That was a separate show. That was a separate episode.
Oh, the other one. Okay. Yeah. I listened to that one too.
Yeah. Yes. So I went over a lot of the stuff that we'll probably be talking about here today, but I'll just go over it later, a little bit later. We can discuss some of the things that you have also seen that I saw, so we can go a little bit back and forth as opposed to me just talking to the void. So that'd be interesting.
Sure. You did feel lonely in it. I felt your aloneness.
Yes.
Word.
Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of stopping and starting. I don't know if you have an ear for editing, where edits are and where edits start and where edits stop. There was a lot of pausing, a lot of clipping and clapping, a lot of stitching together parts from one part to the other. But yeah, it was quite fun. I mean, it's not fun, but I enjoy talking. I enjoy, like I said, when we first started the show, I enjoy getting my thoughts out there because I'm a narcissist. I love to hear myself talk, and I love to have people, respond to what I'm saying and be like, that's a very smart thing you just said. I want to hear more. I would subscribe to your newsletter. Yes. Please tell me more. So, yeah.
You should have found a way. I was listening to the Scrubs podcast, Fake Doctors, Real Friends, and they had the creator, Bill Lawrence, on the show. And he does this little thing where, like, if he's not on the show, there's a segment called Interrupting Bill. Like, they'll just be talking about something. And the music will play like, oh, interrupting Bill, here I am, and it's just, and he'll ask a question about the episode that they're reviewing, and they never know what's coming. But they had Bill Lawrence on the show, and then there was an interrupting Bill, and Bill just started talking to himself, the interrupting Bill voice. Yeah. You should do something like that. Whenever you start feeling alone and I'm not there to bounce back on, you interrupt yourself. You somehow edit it to have a conversation with yourself. I think that would I think that would be fun.
I will do that. I also had another thought, which is this is a question that gets asked of a lot of podcasters and a lot of Twitch streamers of like, what's one topic that you could go on stage and do a TED Talk for 30 minutes unprepared? And what's something you could just fill 30 minutes of? What's a topic that you're knowledgeable about or passionate about that you could just, ramble on about for 30 minutes? And I was thinking of doing that. No notes, no nothing, no prep, no net, no safety net as far as notes go, and go on about the MCU specifically. Yeah, specifically, Tony versus Cap, being like, all right, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be discussing Tony Stark versus Steve Rogers. Who's the better character? Who's the better MCU, hero? Who was right? Who was wrong in the Civil War debate about the Sokovia Accords? Of course, the Sokovia Accords were documented and written up after the events in that country in Africa. There's a bombing, blah blah blah. I'll just go down the list, go down each plot point. I
was gonna say, what would be your topic? And that was a stupid question because I should have known it would have been the MCU.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I might do that today or tomorrow, or do a little half hour, off the top of the dome, improv, TED Talk. It'll be interesting, I think.
So I don't know if you're actually going to say it or not, but you had that last podcast with that special guest that I think everybody should go and listen to, because that was actually you are a good interviewer.
Thank you.
You interview well.
Thanks.
You seem like you had poise and control of the conversation, and whoever he was, I forget what his name was, but like just Derek. Listening to you, the both of you talk. I mean, even though you've only been in the business for 2 years, 3 years, the two of you, I mean, you guys both have radio voice.
Oh, thanks. I will accept your compliment, but I will say that I don't agree. I don't like my voice. No, I think I bounce back and forth a lot at work. This is behind the curtains of how I listen to podcasts. I bounce back and forth between, ringer podcasts, less podcasts on the left. I bounce back and forth just to check the audio quality, to check how I sound versus them. And I'm just like, oof, they're that over there. They're in the mountaintops and they're in the tippy top and only halfway up. And I'm just down here in the base. I'm at base camp, just setting up my own little shop.
Blonde haired little punk sitting at the bottom. Yeah. 360 no scoped.
Yeah. I was gonna say, thank you for the compliment about.
I think you're good. The thing was, I've told people to listen to the show, and a couple times they come back and they'll be like, "Wow, you have a voice for radio," and I'm like, "Yes, well, thanks, I appreciate that." And unlike you, I actually enjoy hearing myself talk. Not like hearing myself talk like, "Oh man, listen to this guy. He's real smart. He's knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about." I like the actual sound of my voice, and I agree with them completely. And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you think I have the poise, the aura of a radio host." But have you heard this guy, Damien? Because I think your voice is much better than mine.
Well, thank you.
I couldn't host the show. We dabbled a little bit with the game show. Yes. And I think I did great there. But I was just the way you do it. I don't know. I like the deep, sultry. And you flow from question to question. It's really great, and you don't ramble. I ramble. You don't ramble.
Right.
I say actually the one thing that you probably the one criticism that I might have is that maybe you try to jump from the next one topic to the next topic a little too quick, because there were a couple times where he was still saying something and you were ready for the next question. I don't think you actually listened to his answer. But I mean, it was for your first time. It was very impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, I hope to do more of that. They have a subreddit called Podcast Exchange where people go on there and be like, "Hey, I'm this guy and I have this podcast and I would like to have some guest on," and people comment like, "Yes, I am also 2 years in or 1 year in, whatever it is," and I think our topics overlap. A lot of them a lot of people are posting, like, let's do a self-help thing. Let's talk about, I don't know, therapy or psychology or stuff like that. It's a lot of way outside my my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
but
certainly not qualified for that.
For self-help, no, I cannot help myself. So that's not something I'm good at. But yeah, movie stuff.
I feel like
TV
your
stuff.
Solution would be poop more.
Poop
that
more,
would be your golden idea.
Feeling down, feeling depressed, take a shit. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's solid. That's solid.
Well, mines aren't solid, but you get the idea.
I get it.
Yeah. So moving on, let's get to Loki, episode 1, entitled Glorious Purpose. Dion,
Awesome.
What did you think of this episode overall?
I thought it was fun. There were a couple times where it was like, the Loki shtick is one of the things you had to realize is this was not the Loki that had made it through the MCU,
Right.
all the MCU. This was the one that was from the first Avengers that got apprehended. So he still had that Asgardian god,
Hey, yo.
the Asgardian god complex where he was talking like. Who do you think you are, worm? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, sometimes it felt a little forced, but then you had to keep bringing yourself back and be like, you got to realize this is the old Loki. And once you realize that, it was fun. The way he was still trying to treat people and just the way that the TVA was working just was like, we're not having that. That's not the way we're doing things today.
Yep. Yeah, it very much takes the existing MCU and things we've seen and things we know of, the Infinity Stones, Thanos, the entire Infinity Saga, and really places it in a context of that doesn't matter. That stuff is way below our pay grade. We don't need to concern ourselves with Infinity Stones because, as they showed in the little drawer, right, there's tons of Infinity Stones in there. And once Loki gets that perspective of, okay, so my magic doesn't work here, Infinity Stones don't work here, they are, beyond, they're outside of the realm of, that stuff. So it's very interesting.
The scope that I considered what power was is nothing compared to what it is here.
Exactly. He had like I have in my notes here, Loki had the Soul moment, the movie Soul from last year. He had that moment of, I finally got what I wanted, but what now? He looks in the drawer, he grabs an Infinity Stone, he's like, oh wow, Infinity Stone. Hold on a second. It's not glowing, it's not radiating power, it's just dead. It's just a stone, it's a rock. And there's that moment of like, existential dread of like, well, everything I was fighting for, everything I've wanted my entire life isn't really that great here. It doesn't have the I had it written down here, but he has that idea of, what he wanted isn't, I had it written down, fuck. But anyways, everything he wanted isn't really all that great. Isn't that, yeah.
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 Well, two things from that idea right there. One, you sit there after you watch the entire everything from the first Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, and the way Avengers Endgame settled everything, it was magnificent. Like that giant war and everything, and just Tony with the boom, and Thanos with the everything about that was just like, holy shit, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out how can you make your viewer base just kind of forget about the scale of battle that just happened. Like, what could top that? And then when Loki opens that drawer and just sees all those Infinity Stones there, and it's like, there you go. They just hard reset everything. Like everything, just everything that just happened. That means shit now. We are in a totally different world. Forget about everything. It was awesome when we experienced it, but from this point on, there will be no reference to what happened before this. And that just blew my mind. And well, I forgot what the second thing. I should have led with the second thing because I knew I was going to forget what the second one was.
So they're saying,
all right, move on.
They're setting up the internals. They're setting up Multiverse of Madness. They're setting up Quantumania. So they are setting up, the future movies and the scale and the scope of what they're going to entail, where you have to realize, what the Eternals are, who they are, and the scale of power and the scale of universe and reach and just everything that they're operating on. The level and the tier of power that they're working on is magnitudes higher and farther and bigger than anything we've seen before. So that was a really good way of saying, everything you've seen before, it's nothing. It's a paperweight. It's a nothing. It's a blip in the radar of the overall universe. So it's very interesting.
You know what was really crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know if you took a look at all the stones in the drawer, but there was a soul stone in there.
Yeah.
Who is the unfortunate soul that was sacrificed to become a paperweight? Is Gamora a paperweight? Is Black Widow a paperweight?
Could be. Yeah, they were talking about this on what's this show? The Midnight Boys, the Pew Pew.
Oh, okay. Midnight Boys, yeah. Okay.
Midnight Boys, yeah. What's it? The Ringerverse.
I never actually listened to it. Yeah, the Ringerverse, but I did hear the title of that show.
Yeah, the Midnight Boys, pew pew, Van Lathan and Charles Holmes, they go over, first reactions, knee-jerk reactions to the show. And then Mallory Rubin comes on today. She was just going over the, deep analyses, themes, and theories about the show itself. And she was saying how, it's talking about, individual, have it here, individual, where is it? I should have sorted my notes better, but where is it? I'll find it here. I just wrote this down. Where did it go?
I don't know, man. You just write down so much and it's hard to find it again.
So it deals with the ideas of willpower, free will, and individual agency. So like you said, people died, went to the Soul Stone, and now it's just in the drawer. And it's like they are this mammoth institution, this mammoth structure that has all of the supreme power over the entirety of this timeline. What do they call it? The supreme timeline, the right timeline, whatever they called it. But they have, no oversight. Nobody has oversight over these people as to their actions and their decisions. And like Loki said, it's like, so who says, who gets to say that the Avengers doing the time heist was okay? That's like, okie dokie in their book.
Yeah.
Thanos destroying half the universe.
Everything that Captain America did, going back and forth in time, and that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the TVA, the Time Variant Association, is possibly the bad guys. Possibly, going to have to reckon with their own actions and have to look at themselves and be like, we can't be the arbiters of what is right and wrong in the entire universe. We can't be the only body. We can't be the only institution that gets the final word on what is canon and what isn't canon, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting just because would they pull the trigger on that so fast? Because being a timekeeper or whatever, that seems like pretty powerful role in the universe.
Yes.
And
yes,
I heard speculation that Kang could be one of the dudes because they showed the 3 cartoon versions of them, and the one in the middle looked a lot like Kang. But to pull that to fire out that silver bullet right there, it would be like that's a pretty heavy hitter right out of the gate. Like that, if the timekeepers actually are an enemy, like I feel like they have to be the enemy of the MCU going forward. Like they're the big bad or something. You know what I mean?
Could be. Yes. Very well could be. So let's go back a little bit and talk about just the show itself. The aesthetics of the show, the costumes, the set design, how it's shot overall. I really liked it. I thought it had a lot of callbacks and references, and it just looked like that sort of the entire look of the TVA office building and the offices and everything about that had very Good Place vibes, right? The bureaucratic afterlife style. It was very interesting.
Yeah, not so much Good Place. I was thinking like Afterlife DMV.
Yeah. Oh, okay, like in
like when where they're waiting in line and he's like, "Take a ticket, please," and it was like, "There's 2 of us here."
Yeah, the showrunner Michael Waldron referenced Mad Men and Catch Me If You Can. Did you feel like there was Mad Men and Catch Me If You Can vibes out of this?
I don't know about the Mad Men one, but yeah, Catch Me If You Can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you might be jumping a little bit ahead, but the idea that Catch Me If You Can, where Leo's character, he was a forger or something, right? Master forger.
Yep.
So, and then they needed him like a Hannibal Lecter, because
exactly.
You haven't said it yet, but they say that Loki is the bad guy, and they need Loki to find Loki. Sorry.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Yes. Spoilers for all of this stuff.
Yeah. Spoilers for all this, but yeah, for sure. Like I picked up on that. Yep.
I love the moment when he's going through, like you said, really great moments of Loki going through the bureaucratic nonsense and going through the metal detector, and the guy's like, "Sir, for as far as you know, are you a robot? Do you have a soul?" And he's like,
"Yep."
Am I a robot? No. He's like, "Are you sure?" Yeah. Yes.
What if I am?
what if I am? He's like, "What if I am?" Well, it'll destroy every molecule from your inside out. Oh. Okay. Yep. No pressure.
He like creeps through slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
My question, what would happen to Vision?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If Vision had to walk through there. What do you be like?
That's a great point.
Like,
that's a great point.
Can I interest you in a story of a boat?
I've been remade so many times over. Am I a robot? Yeah, technically yes, but hear me out.
I think so, yeah.
Or
would he even have any power there? Because he's like the soul, or he's the stone,
the soul stone gives him life.
Yeah. So I mean, would he even exist in the TVA?
Well,
or would he just be a soulless paperweight, Vision paperweight?
Was White Vision? Was he powered by a stone? I don't think so, right?
No, he wasn't.
So he might have been he would have been a robot, so he would not have been able to go through. That's interesting. If they don't, if robots can't even go into the TVA to be, judged for their actions or whatever, then are their action, who judges their actions, right? Because they can definitely have an impact on the timeline, So do they just? Why don't they judge robots' actions? That's a weird thing to think about too.
Maybe because robots, like, I don't know, maybe they're following the 3 rules of robotics where.
True.
They're just supposed to obey humans. They'd basically be used as whatever the human that used them intended them to be. So maybe there's no real rule behind that. So they just wipe them out.
Yeah, true. Let me see. So yeah, basically going through the notes here, it completely recontextualizes the MCU. The Infinity Stones have no power in the TVA. Lots of exposition dropping in a very short amount of time. You have the beginning, near the beginning of the show, this really cool animated short just explaining what the TVA is, what they've done, the timeline crises, the timeline wars, the time wars. Basically, you had multiple timelines going off at once, all at once, and they all had this conflict because they all wanted to be the prime timeline, and eventually the Time Lord, whatever beings had to step in and be like, all right, we're deciding now. You're all merging into one timeline. So that's where we are now. And the Miss Minutes also explained what the deal is with the TVA and the multiverse of timelines. She goes, quote, "A nexus event which left unchecked would branch off into madness, which would result in another multiversal war." So that's definitely so you had a couple of references there. You got the Nexus, which was mentioned in WandaVision because Wanda might have set off a Nexus event. She was a Nexus being, right? Because she is the same no matter what timeline she's in. So she's absolutely going to play a part in the upcoming Multiverse of Madness and possibly Quantumania. But yeah, that explains it all right there. So they have the variant Loki, this 2012 Loki, right? They've called him a variant. And there's also another Loki variant that was committing crimes and murdering people and stealing the reset potion, or whatever they called it, right? They're the Minutemen are going through timelines.
Reset charges.
Reset charges. They're being stolen by the second variant Loki, the bad Loki. This Loki right here, we have, he's reckoning with his own actions. He's having existential moments. So he's probably going to go on to become the, what do you call that? The hero, bad hero. What's it called? The
anti-hero.
Anti-hero, yes, thank you. So he's probably going to be, the Vegeta of this world. He's going to go down that road of, bad guy turns sort of good.
Right. Well, I mean, spoilers, obviously, but what did you think when he was when Owen Wilson's character Mobius was grilling him, and he did the thing at the end where he's just like. He kept saying, he's like, do you like hurting people? Like, look at this, like showing him all the stuff that he did. And then Loki was being Loki. And then after he had he was seeing his life. He saw Frigga, Odin, Thor. He saw his own death.
Yep.
He saw the Infinity Stones being paperweights. And then he was back in the room and he was just like, I don't like doing what I do. It's all an act. Yeah. Now, my question is this an act? Him saying that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he is the god, the trickster god here.
Yep.
Or is he actually coming to terms with, is he actually admitting that he doesn't like being the guy that people think that he is or that he should be? I'm not really doing a great job explaining, but you understand what I'm trying to say, I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like, it's a very quick turnaround. He, like you said, this is the 2012 Loki. He just got beaten up by the Hulk. He just got beat by the Avengers. Yeah. He was just trying to take over the Earth, mere minutes ago. I don't think just showing him the events of his possible timeline is going to change his mind right off the bat there. But I think they do need to differentiate between Loki seeing his future and Thanos seeing his future, because Thanos saw his future in Endgame, wasn't perturbed, wasn't put off by his mission. He doubled down on his mission. So I think they need to differentiate between Thanos and Loki here, where one person sees their future, continues to go down the same path, and Loki should probably show you that if he sees his future, that he's not going to go down the same path, that he is going to have, reckoning with his own future, with his past self, with his future self. So,
yeah. One of the things I was thinking too was, is there actually a bad Loki that's doing this, or are they just using Loki to get the person, and maybe somebody from the TVA is actually, the real bad guy, But what I was thinking here is that, crap, I lost it. It's been a while since I podcasted and I can't keep my ideas straight. What the hell was I going to say? Yeah. Okay. So the TVA, so we got Mobius in there, just being like, just really grilling him, be like, oh yeah, you're the trickster god. Yeah. You're big scary god. Why do you lose so much? Yeah. Wow, you're a loser. Wow. Stuff like that. Like they really seemed like they were egging him on, and if they were trying, maybe they were trying to get him to that breaking point, where that confession point, where he was just like, yeah, okay, I don't like hurting people. You figured me out. But is this other thing where you keep emasculating him, or I know people think Loki is like a transgender thing, whatever you want to call that. You keep bringing him down.
Yeah, I understand.
Does he break bad, and just kind of like, all right, now I'm going to double down. And did the TVA create evil Loki, basically, that's killing all their people, and he's doing it to, say, screw you, TVA, and screw everybody else? Like, he's actually legit a bad guy now, the bad guy that he pretended to be all this time, because of the TVA trying to do this little psychological breakdown on him, That's one of the things I was wondering.
Yeah. Yes. I love the interviews. I love them going back and forth. Love the moment when Mobius is talking to him and he's like, so what was your plan exactly? Let's go through this step by step, right? What are you going to do? You're on Midgar, you're on Earth. I'm going to take over Earth. And he's like, and then what? Well, then I'll take over the galaxy. And he's like, and then what? I don't know. I didn't get that far. It's like, what are you going to do? What you want power? Yes. Okay. To do what with? To rule. And then what? It's just you start examining his goals and his methodology of why he does what he does, and it breaks down very quickly. And I think that's another point to the show. The strength of the show is showing that even though he was full on ready to take over and conquer everything a few minutes ago, I think they showed, how you just sit him down, make him depowered, force him to look at his own actions and look at his motivations to be like, your plan was kind of shitty. You had a shitty plan with a shitty motivation. So maybe not do that again. Maybe your whole thing is whacked out. Maybe your whole
where's your conviction? Is whacked. Where's the
exactly.
Where's the? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Then the other one that you were talking about, I think you referenced. What did he say? Oh, he said something like, "I'm smart," and then Owen Wilson says, "Yeah, I know you are," and nobody's ever really said that to him before. Of like, yes, I recognize that you're clever and you're smart and you're good.
You are formidable
at what you do. You're a formidable foe. You are, nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever said that to him before. So that was a really great moment.
He had that look on his face, like the time where Odin called him his son. That like him and Thor were sitting on the new Asgard, and he's like, sons, and then Loki was just like staring at him like, oh, you respect me.
yes.
And that's he kind of gave the same thing to Mobius too, like you're saying, like, oh shit, no one's ever actually gave me the credit. Yes,
nobody's ever listened to me. Everyone's always punishing me. Nobody's ever sat me down and asked me, what's going on in your head. Shit like that.
That could also be a psychological tactic too, though.
Yeah,
he could just be like, that's something that they do with criminals, like psycho people, like they play to their ego.
Yep.
And it's just like, I know you're a smart person. I know you did that. So why don't you tell me a little bit more? And then you get them comfortable and they start, spilling their guts.
Yeah. You were talking about who is the villain, who's going to turn out to be the villain of this show. Do you think we've seen the villain in episode 1? Are they hiding in plain sight, like with Agatha and Sharon Carter? Could Mobius be the villain?
Mobius gave me some weird vibes when had the kid in the church and they were chasing the evil Loki.
Yep.
I don't know if the actual villain has been introduced yet.
Okay.
I don't think it has been, but I'm not entirely off the boat that it's not an evil Loki. And I would love to see like a Hilton and Hiddleston, face off.
Yeah.
Like how they talk, how they would talk, how Loki would talk to Loki. Would he find him as ridiculous as some of the other people that have had conversations with Loki? Like, oh my God, I sound like this. Like, I look forward to if that's actually what's going to play out. If they're actually being honest, that could be a fun road to take.
Yeah, I can't wait for a cap on cap end game moment of Cap going like, I can do this all day. Yeah, I know.
That's a nice ass. I know.
I have been burdened by glorious purpose. Sure, buddy. Whatever.
Glorious purpose.
Yeah,
that's an awesome line. I want to say that to everybody. Just like, what's your problem? Glorious purpose. I have so much of it.
Yeah. A couple more things that we can move on. Listening to The Watch with Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, one of my favorite shows. They have so much. They have one of my favorite energies, some of my favorite banter, back and forth banter. I do think a lot of it comes from the fact that I listen to stuff on 1.5 speed, so slowing it down might take away some of that glimmer from it. But
sure,
yeah, it's very funny. They drop references that even are like beyond my scope. So he said a word the other day, and I looked it up, and I was like, that's a weird word. Let me see if it's still in my my search history. But it was like something where he called them something. I looked it up, and it was like a bureaucratic communist or something. And I was like, what the fuck is that word? No, I can't find it. But anyways, they're very knowledgeable about a lot of things. It's very funny. But Chris Ryan called Owen Wilson a butterscotch stallion. So is that like a blonde-haired silver fox? Is that what that is?
I'll be honest with you, I've never heard that expression.
I haven't either.
35 years of life.
But is that what it sounds like to you? Like he's calling him a sexy blonde dude?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Like, stallion. I mean, I don't understand the reference. Owen Wilson. I mean, while he's handsome enough dude, just Stallion I feel is like reserved for, like Jason Momoa or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone with some meat on him and glorious mane. I guess he does have a
he does have a mane.
Like but not in this though. He has a trim look, doesn't he?
Right. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I think what it might be referencing is, you have a silver fox, so you have a, dark-haired guy going gray. So, Owen Wilson's probably in his late 40s, early 50s. So I think if he's referencing, maybe a blonde guy going gray, is that what a butterscotch would be?
I don't know, because Stallion, I don't think there's any gray involved here. I think maybe it's saying like, look at him, he's so youthful. Like stallions are youthful.
Okay.
Strong.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, call him like a mare or something.
A mare, yes. Butterscotch mare.
Butterscotch mare.
All right,
Butterscotch mule.
So, WandaVision was, they said, a TV show.
That's awesome. That's glorious.
They said, the showrunner for WandaVision said this is going to be a 6-episode television series. The showrunner for Falcon and the Soldier called it a movie, a 6-hour movie. So far, we've only seen 1 episode, but does this feel like a television program with separate episodes, or does this feel like a movie to you so far?
This feels like television with separate
episodes.
Episodic.
Like
there's going to be like, I don't know. Obviously, here's the job. Now you're going to see them on the job. There's going to be episode where it's just like more. I think we're not done with the exposition either. I think we're going to get more talking, obviously, because I think that's what one of Loki's strengths is, that he's loquacious, and people want to hear that. Hear his takes. There's a lot of knowledge there, wisdom. I don't think we're gonna get away from that. It's got like a I don't know, almost like a whodunit kind of feel to it,
Yeah.
So there's going to be like mystery to solve along the way, and that's why I think it's like episodic, not like a movie, like They said They said Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a movie. I guess so. Yeah. It's like Bad Boys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Yes, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Well, and not episodic on the scale that WandaVision was. WandaVision with the TV shows, that made it truly episodic. So like somewhere in between the two of them. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely has that Monster of the Week feel with the, it felt very procedural, like a Law & Order episode with them, looking at the crime scene in the church and in the field in, what was it, Mississippi or Montana or somewhere. That's the second one. The second crime scene.
Yeah, what are that, like a Mindhunter / Doctor Who,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a very good analogy. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Thank you.
Do you want me to tell you who is in the show, or do you want to be surprised? Because there's a couple people I have pulled up here that are going to be in the show going forward. Do you want me to leave it a surprise, or do you want me to tell you a name you might know or might not know?
You talking like heroes, or you talking about like the actors, actresses?
The actors.
Actors. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me.
I'm going to paste the thing into the chat. This person, I don't know if you know him, name is Richard E. Grant. He's possibly going to be playing older Loki. Because in the comics, right, there's a bunch of different iterations of Loki. There's Kid Loki, there's Lady Loki, then I'm assuming there's an older Loki going forward. Because if you see this guy, Richard E. Grant, he was in a couple things. I don't know if you've seen him before or not.
Kind of looks like Bill Simmons in that picture.
Have you ever seen Gosford Park? In that, no. Have you seen? Let me see. The Hitman's Bodyguard.
No.
You saw Logan, correct? He was the He was the bad guy doctor in that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so he possibly playing older Loki. I think he has a very mischief, the god of mischief grin to him, right? He's got that
Cheshire cat grin.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's a possible. That's what he's cast in that, so he's going to be in that. They have him on IMDb for being in 5 episodes, so he's definitely going to be playing a huge part in this. So he could be.
He's going to be another Loki.
Could be, yeah, older Loki, yeah. That's what people are thinking.
Interesting.
He doesn't have a character title on IMDb right now, but that's what people are thinking, just based on the fact that he looks like Tom Hiddleston, looks like an older Tom Hiddleston. So,
okay.
Yep. And then just going down the list here of other people in the show that I really liked so far. You had, I'm trying to find her name here. The one that was basically hunting him was Wunmi Mosaku. She was the you know her from Lovecraft Country. We saw her in that.
Ah, yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
the flesh melting off. I didn't recognize her with all her flesh on.
yeah, that's funny. Yep, I liked her in that. There's a couple other people, but yeah, very strong cast, very strong supporting cast, as well as Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, can't wait for the next episode.
They got Pillboy from A Good Place.
Pillboy from Good Place.
That's Jason's friend. He's always talking about Pillboy.
Jason who?
He's Jason in A Good Place.
Oh,
in the movie the show Good Place. Right. His friend Pillboy. Pillboy is the guy that at the TVA where he had the Tesseract. And he was just like, "What's this?" And he's like, "That's the Tesseract. Don't mess with it." And he's just like, "Sounds dumb." And then he was the guy that ultimately showed him where the Infinity Stones were, and he's like threatening me. He's like, "I'll cut you like a fish." He's like, "What's a fish?" He's like, "How do you not know what a fish is?"
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, that's Pillboy.
I got you now. Eugene Cordero. Yeah. I got you. Yep. Very funny guy. Pillboy. Yeah. Yeah. Very good show. Anything else you want to say before we move on from Loki?
Yeah. You feel bad for Loki. I know he's done some stuff,
right?
But he was basically just straight up told that he's a plot device. When they were showing him like, "This is your life, Loki," and it's just like, he was just like, "You don't get to be the hero." Basically, they're like, "You are there to what?" Owen Wilson said something like straight up like hardcore mean. It was just like, "You don't get to." Be the hero, something like that. You are there to enhance their story. You don't get your story. You're there to enhance their story. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
The way they just the way he said it was just it was just honesty, but it was just like cold.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if they made Loki break bad, like I can understand how something like that would have made him do it. It's like, really? I'm not important enough? Like I'm only here to enhance them? Well, I'll show you, buddy.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, everyone's jumping all over the place back in time, and Loki does it one time and gets his pee-pee slapped. It's kind of like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And my other thought: does the TVA hate Doctor Strange? Like, in fact, does it hate? Are people that have had possession of the Time Stone aware of the TVA?
Right.
How can you have the Time Stone and not cross paths with the TVA?
Yeah.
Like the things that Strange does.
Yeah.
Going back in time and everything or moving between time periods, whatever, seeing all these multiple realities.
Yep.
How does that not get on the TVA radar? Like that's okay. Like, okay, yeah, you can jump through time, like, because we allow it, but like, I don't understand how people with the Time Stone, like, because not everybody that had the Time Stone would have it for good purposes, but the TVA doesn't jump in and be like, all right, nope, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
It seems like there's this blurry part there that I don't think I've heard anyone explain to me.
Yeah, if you look in the drawer, for the Infinity Stones, most of them were Time Stones, so I feel like that makes sense. Most people that got caught, going, making another timeline or branching off into another timeline that wasn't meant to be, I think it makes sense that most of the people that got caught doing that would have had the Time Stone. So yeah. I don't
do
know.
You think Strange was aware of the one timeline because of the TVA?
Probably.
Remember how he was like, there's only one scenario where we win this. And did the TVA be like, all right, yeah, okay, this is the universal timeline.
Yeah.
So just tell him that and everything will work out.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like him...
Really what Strange was saying was, Iron Man, just use one stone so you don't fucking kill yourself.
Yeah. That's probably going to be a big thing going forward with Doctor Strange. In Multiverse of Madness, he's probably going to explain while he was in the trance in Infinity War. He's probably like, yeah, I saw this. They could do a whole bunch of shit with that one, 5-minute scene in Infinity War of him being like, yeah, I was in that trance for years, or I saw the TVA, I saw the second Loki, I saw him, I saw Loki go off into that branch, I saw this, I saw that, blah, 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 blah. They could do a whole bunch of retconning with that one moment where he's like, yeah, of course, I know the TVA, yeah, of course. Going forward, they're going to make a whole bunch of shit that never was even thought of when Infinity War is being written, but they can just retcon it and go back and be like, yeah, Doctor Strange, yeah, he saw everything because he was, in that trance for, I don't know, 10 years, let's say. It could do a whole bunch of shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I like you're right.
I was thinking, what if Loki like straight up pocketed all those Infinity Stones? Like if once he's out of the TVA, he should be able to use them, Like what if Loki pocketed a time stone and that kind of contributes to how he is able to jump? Because they're like going back in time investigating these crime scenes. Right. Like I wonder if he pocketed a time stone or has control of a time stone to make him be able to do that. Yes. Or he just has the new TVA power. I think they established that the Infinity Stones are useless, so that's probably not the case. He probably has some new device that helps him. Obviously, he's got the rewind charges or whatever they're called, but there's got to be something else there that he's got too.
Yeah. Yep. I can't wait to see.
I don't know. Yep.
The reset charges, like you said, he's stealing them. Be interesting to see what and why he's stealing them for one thing you could think of is that doing a Dormammu scenario where he's going to reset all of reality, or he's going to reset one giant chunk of reality or a part of reality or a planet, put them all in one planet and reset the planet. Maybe he's from a reality where the planet got exploded, and he's going to do who is the guy that reset the planet when it exploded in Dragon Ball Z? Didn't it explode at one point? And he was like, "Yeah, sorry about that."
It was the dragon, wasn't it?
I thought they were traveling with somebody. No, they were traveling with somebody. Maybe it was in Super, or maybe a late Dragon Ball Z. Wasn't it Boo? Didn't Boo blow up the Earth? Yes, it was Shenron. Exactly. Boo blew up the Earth, and they kept alive certain people. And then they wished back the Earth. Right? That was Boo Saga, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be something where he's from a reality where he has to reset the planet or reset something. Something got blowed up and he wants to get it back, but he can't because it was on the right timeline, quote unquote, the right timeline. Okay, whatever. It was meant to happen. Whatever.
Whatever that means, nerd.
Yeah. But yeah, What were you gonna say before I interrupted?
Oh no! I don't think I said whatever you say, nerd, and then you finish your thought. I thought
I liked the part where he was like, they were explaining that the time heist was supposed to happen, and they were explaining how he got out, and they were like, yeah, there was this time heist, and a second there was the alternate Avengers came in to 2012, and then Loki was like, I knew it, I could smell the two Tony Starks. It's like, no, you couldn't. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't know anything.
Because of the cologne, dude. The cologne,
the Axe body spray. Yep.
Yep.
just for emergencies.
You got time splained.
Time splained. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Really good show. So yeah, can't wait. It's good. What do they drop now? Wednesdays. I was on Reddit. I was on Twitter. Tuesday or Wednesday morning, just waiting. I think I pulled it up at like 2:55. Watched that shit twice at least.
I didn't watch it till the next day, but I was working a day shift, but
yep.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. They said Nightmare in it, so obviously the villain is Mephisto. Yeah, case closed.
Yes.
On to Black Widow.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like 10 years, and like the ultimate villain of everything is gonna be Mephisto, or it's gonna be like red herring. They're going to have Mephisto pretend to be like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, like, Mephisto, it was Mephisto all along.
Yeah, dude.
They're going to
There would be riots. We waited 10 years from now.
Yep.
When did when did Iron Man drop?
2008.
2008?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. We waited 30 years for this reveal.
Yep. Oh, man. So yeah, moving on. Let's see. I watched Hacks. Hacks is done. The season is done. This is the show I've been talking about for a couple weeks. 10 episodes on HBO Max. Jean Smart. We love Jean Smart. She was in The Watchmen. She was in Mayor of Easttown. Apparently she was in the show back in like the 80s called Designing Women, I think it was called. But yeah, she's a very, very good actress playing an Asian comedian in Las Vegas. Gets stuck with an assistant, a rising comedian writer, and they sort of mentor each other. What did I say? The guy that's in the Happy Gilmore, he's in the show. Let me see.
Guy in Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. Who's the guy? I eat shit like you for breakfast.
Oh, Shooter McGavin?
Shooter McGavin's in the show. Yep.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun show. Fun little half-hour show.
Man, how old is he now?
Good question. I'll tell
be
you.
Up there in age.
Tell you.
Well, I mean, I guess the woman, Happy's girlfriend, was the mother in Modern Family, so maybe not that old.
Yep. Mr. Christopher McDonald is born in 1955.
Christopher McDonald. There you go.
Yeah. He's 66 years young.
Okay.
Yes.
Could take a shot at that.
Yeah. Like I said, Caitlin Olsen is also in the show. She's very funny. Yeah, a lot of people in the show. Very funny. Very smartly written. So yeah, definitely check out Hacks. Smartly. Yeah, smartly. Is that a word? Smartish?
You know what? It's a word today.
It is today. Yep. I made it. I just made it. I don't think I talked about Mayor of Easttown. That finished up. One of the best shows I've seen in years. If you've ever watched True Detective, yeah, it's one of the best detective, sort of procedural, but not like Law and Order or CSI or any of those stuff. It's it's smart, it's dark, it's it's a small contained story. But it is very good. Like I said, they look like they lived in Pennsylvania. They look like they're pale. They're all pale, a little chubby. I think you were remarking on that the other day. I sent you a text about it finishing and it being one of the most watched things on HBO Max so far. And you were like, yeah, I heard a thing where she wanted to show she wanted her belly to be shown or something like that, right?
Yeah, like, some sex scene in it. She told him not to edit out her pouch or something.
Yeah. She told the post-production crew or editors not to edit out her quote-unquote gut that I guess she put on some pounds for the show, or maybe she already has, but yeah, that's interesting.
Good for her.
Yeah. Who else is in the show? I just mentioned was in Hacks. Jean Smart is also in Mayor of Easttown. I guess she was wearing like padding on her butt to make her butt look bigger or saggy or something. Yeah. They went method with the show. Yeah. But I think Kate Winslet gives one of the best performances she's ever given in just ever. I think it's one of the best things she's ever done. Yeah, incredible show. Really, really incredible. 10 episodes. They're all done. They're all up now on HBO Max. So I'm watching a bunch of stuff on HBO Max. They have a lot of stuff that was on. I talked about this on the interview I did, but they have a lot of stuff on HBO Max. New stuff obviously that's still in theaters, but also Criterion stuff, old movies. So one of the best streaming services out there right now. You're listening.
Think it's good enough to be nominated for an Emmy?
Absolutely. This is going to win all of them. It's going to win all the fucking things. Emmys, Golden Globes. Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, I think I'm at GG's. Yeah. Emmy might be a tough one.
Yeah. So that's about it. I did finish up The Expanse books. I still have to wait. So now I have to wait till November 16th for the last one. Leviathan Fall is the last of the series. They're going to finish up the series this year. So that'll be interesting.
Was it good for you?
It's very good. Very, very good. Very realistic. Yeah. I made references to it being like overshadowed by Game of Thrones. I feel like it is, in a lot of ways, it is the sci-fi Game of Thrones. It's got, political intrigue, espionage, things going on in the background of the show, but also it's got plenty of action, plenty of big set pieces, action set pieces, drama, a little bit of comedy here and there. Follows the book pretty well. I guess there was one of the main people in the show. Let me look up his name. The Expanse. He was actually written off the show. Accused of sexual misconduct allegations, things such as that, which is very, very unfortunate because Alex in the book is one of the main 4 characters on that show. So I guess he was killed off. Spoiler alert for season 5 of the Expanse, but Alex, I forgot what his last name was, but Alex Kamal. Alex Kamal was killed off at the end of the last season. So that's super unfortunate. He plays a big part in the future books. They jump ahead about 30 years into the future after the 6th book. And he's a big part of it. He's a big part of the last 3 books. So it's going to be super interesting to see how they write around that. Yep. So I think that's about all I have. If there's anything else you want to chat about.
I got the stuff that I watched.
What have you watched?
I did it, dude. I finally did it.
What'd you do? Well, you watched...
I finished The Witcher.
Yeah. Woo! Congratulations.
Yeah, finished The Witcher.
Wow. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, I should have put that in there. I deserve some applause.
Yeah,
it was all right. It was fine. It was fine.
Fine.
I mean, I never get tired of hearing Cavill as your Geralt being like, fuck.
Geralt, yep.
Just always saying, fuck. But, besides all that, I think it jumps around way too much. I can see how anybody that isn't familiar with any of the Witcher stuff could be put off by the way that it jumps around. And me being, experienced in The Witcher, I'm like put off by it. It's just like, at what point can we just kind of like create like a linear shot of the whole show? This is one of those things where you got to go back and break down by episode, or you hope that somebody's written out a timeline for you, because it's like this woman dies, but then in the next episode she's alive because this happened before that. This actually happened before episode 2, and we're in episode 5 now. So it's just wild the direction they took with that. I mean, it got there's a second season coming out, so obviously people weren't too worked up about it. And honestly, I'm not that worked up about it either, but it's just, I can see how it would be confusing. And that was one of the things I didn't like about it. I will say that the dialogue was fun. It's weird though, because I feel like, I don't know, the production, the scenery and everything like that, it felt cheap. I wonder if they'll have a more bigger payroll for the next season, because I watched another show on Netflix, Shadow and Bone, and I feel like they did so much more with less money. They made everything look like gritty, felt real. I don't know. I mean, I'm not pooping on Witcher completely, saying like, oh yeah, I look like trash, but it was just like some of the stuff was just kind of like, really, like, imagine a lot of money was spent on this. Yeah. And I mean, it's true. It did have a bigger budget than like something like Shadow and Bone did. Shadow and Bone had like one of the lowest budgets out of all the fantasy sci-fi, like Jupiter's Legacy. There's another one too. And both of those got canceled. Actually, Shadow and Bone got a second season. Good for them. It's actually a good show. I really enjoy it. Basically I said everything about The Witcher. It was a journey. It was tough to get through, but I did it. And It's fine. That's all I can say. But to jump into Shadow and Bone, Shadow and Bone has my attention a lot better. The story is more interesting. It has like this kind of like Russian backdrop, like industrial movement where it's just like guns are becoming a big thing, and a fight between like magic and actual weapons. And you would imagine in most situations, it always seems like magic has the edge, but like there was like this one character in there that was given a speech. He's like, he's the leader of an army. They use guns and everything. Two nations are basically at war. You got magicians, you got the actual military.
Yep.
And so what happens? He's like, I was told before that one wizard, they call him, what the hell do they call him? Damn, I forgot the name. But basically, one wizard is worth 100 of my men. And then guns were invented. And then it turned into one wizard is worth 10 of my men.
Yep.
And then this weapon was created. And now it's probably like a 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
So that idea of like technology competing with magic, it's always a fun premise to build on. The world building in Shadow and Bone is phenomenal, personally, I think. And just some of the special effects that they have with it too. Obviously, because you got people conjuring light, darkness stuff, like top notch. I will say the one thing I don't like about it that much is cringy MTV style romance. Like, I don't know, they just didn't nail the dialogue with the romance stuff, and they tried like from 3 different scenarios, and each time it's just like, oh man, this feel. It would take it from like a mature show to the kind of like, if it had an M rating, now it has a T rating after I just watched that cringy love fest stuff. So maybe they can work on that moving on in the future, but I don't know. The characters are all great. This guy, General Kerrigan, he's the villain from Punisher. What's his name? His friend. You remember him?
I think so.
You watched? Did you watch Punisher?
I don't believe so. Ben Barnes.
Oh man,
I know.
Yeah, Ben Barnes.
Okay,
but that's his name, right?
Yeah, he was Logan in Westworld as well. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Right. Yeah. True. Right. That guy too. But yeah, him in Punisher was phenomenal. He kind of carries some of that edge over into Shadow and Bone. I was trying to nail down where I've seen him before. I'm like, where are you from? Because it's been a while since I watched Punisher.
Yep.
And now that you brought up Westworld, I remember him being in that too.
Yep.
So he definitely has that asshole stick to him. But so immediately when I saw his face, I'm like, you look suspicious, and turns out I was correct. So, moving on. Let's see. I watched Mitchell's vs. Machines. I heard you reviewed that in your solo podcast.
Yes,
great movie. I watched it with the kids.
Yep.
We were all sitting in the living room, and I just put it on. I had their attention like right from the get go. The intro was enough to like get them laughing.
Yep.
And they were hooked immediately, because finding something that both my kids want to watch is not an easy task.
No.
Finding something that even one of them want to watch is not an easy task, because they would rather just watch Power Rangers all day long. So for me to be able to put on Mitchell's vs. Machines and them just to sit there and laugh and have a good time was remarkable. And my oldest was like sitting there playing the Switch.
Yep.
But like every now and then he would look up and he would do something and he'd do one of these things where it's like, ha, and he would look back down at the Switch and start playing again. It was just,
that's 2021, baby.
And they remember the lines for it. They ended up watching it a couple more times afterwards, and they remember lines. And there's this one you've watched it, so you know.
Couple times, yeah.
Where the robots are like, what's that?
I've watched it twice now. I love this movie.
Yeah. So the robots that are just like they're like dog. What was it? It's like dog something, loaf of bread, and they malfunction.
Yes, I love that.
So they'll be running through the house, and they'll be like, or whatever the robots was doing. And then my youngest, he'll start shaking his head like back and forth, like pretending his head's spinning like a robot, and then you go. It's really cute.
Yeah.
So basically, it had something for everybody because they were popping some of the jokes in that. Like obviously, you get one of those animated movies, you got the adult secret jokes in there where it's like they're walking into whatever that place that Olivia Colman the phone created.
Right.
They're like, and the dad was like, "This looks like a Journey cover or album cover art." I'm like, "Yeah, Journey, let's go."
Yep.
But yeah, that was a really cute movie.
Talking about the adult jokes in that movie, one of my favorite moments in that movie, and one of my favorite jokes, is when they go into the mall and she starts uploading the virus to the server, to the robot server, and the robots start coming to life, and they're running, and the massage chair grabs the mother, and she starts going, "Ooh, I like this." And the son grabs her, and she's like, "No."
That was funny. I like that.
Yep.
The Furby stuff was frightening.
Yes, it was. Yeah, Furby was frightening.
Okay.
I love the art style. It had a very Lego movie vibe to it. Had a very it
had like the Borderlands coloring to it to the characters sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
the cell shading. Yeah. Yep, I
very interesting.
Yes.
Definitely unique. I hadn't seen an animated film like that with that kind of art style. I mean, you see something close to it, but like that particularly, like it seemed pretty original to me.
Yeah. It's it's a little bit of that overwrought theme and sort of like whatever you're going to call it of. Technology is bad and kids are on their phones and technology is going to take over. We're going to talk about Love, Death, and Robots in a second. So it's sort of that overdone theme of technology bad, technology or AI is going to be blah, blah, blah. It has that overarching theme. That's the plot device that pushes the plot forward. But I think it does it in a really different and smart way too. So.
Yeah, it does, because at the end, the father is like trying to he's making videos for her or something like that, or FaceTime in. I don't know, basically the dad, instead of like completely disregarding technology, he embraces it, realizing that's like the next step in communicating with his child. And I, as a parent too, after watching that movie, my first reaction was to be like, damn, I'm on my phone too much. I need to stop being on my phone too much. My kid needs to stop playing Switch so much, I mean, even though it's like stuff that I did when I was younger. I played the shit out of video games and watched TV, but revisionist history, we like to believe that we were outside more or something like that. And maybe we were, but at the same time, it's a lot different than when we were younger. We have like technology at our fingertips, literally, at all times. And instead of, villainizing it, I think it's healthy. You should find a way to embrace it and use it to your advantage, as opposed to letting it consume you, which was kind of the thing they were getting at too, getting trapped by your electronics and everything like that. Like there's a good way to go about it. I think the movie did a good job at not villainizing it completely, and at the end realizing that instead of like the daughter being like, "Oh right, yeah, I won't use my phone too much. I'll call you, on an old landline that you're probably the only person ever to have." That the father learns how to use FaceTime. That's the way it should be now, moving forward into the future.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I gave that like a 10 out of 10. That's one of my favorite movies I've seen this year. That'll definitely be in my top 10 movies of 2021. Will it be yours as well?
Yeah, I agree. Just for the fact that we all loved it.
Yes.
The family.
Yes.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into Love, Death, and Robots?
Do it.
All right. So,
well, before we jump into that, I'm just going to say real quick. I watched Army of the Dead.
Oh.
And it was garbage. It was it was straight up garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. It was interesting. Like the premise they took, where like zombies might have an alpha. and there might be a few alphas, and they control like the hordes. Like that was a pretty interesting touch. But that, man, if you actually sat down for a second and tried to think of like how this worked or that worked, it's gone. Like this is plot hole city, right. And they don't even pretend to like to try to hide it.
Right.
They just keep moving. They're like, yeah, we are what we are. And it's funny because this is a Snyder movie, you know, and like you'd imagine he'd be a little bit more cautious, but no, he just said, screw it. Whatever you think. And I'm just going to say a zombie got pregnant in it. A zombie was pregnant.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, I don't even know what else to say after that point. Just makes no goddamn sense. Right. So that's all I got to say about that. It was not a good movie, and it's not worth watching. Okay. Yeah. So okay, Love, Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots season 1 was one of my favorite things I saw that year. Came out 2019. Again, I mentioned this before, but it was one of the things that we put at least on my list. I think I remember bringing it up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, if I remember to put that on my list, it would have been on there." One of the best things I saw that year. Loved the animation style. Yep. Loved the variation on the animation style from episode to episode, and also the variation on themes and ideas, and just very, very insightful commentary on life from season 1. And my overall thought on season 2 was that it's a huge drop off in all of that, in variety of animation.
Pales in comparison.
Yeah, massively pales in comparison, I think anyway, from the animation to the first season, and also to the just depth of storytelling. Very, very thin storytelling, I thought. Very not deep at all in terms of like, you know, talking about themes of life and death and robots. So yeah, what did you think of it?
Yeah. No, I agree with you pretty much. You know, first season they had the twists. You thought you knew what was happening, and then boom, you don't realize. Like a comparable show, I suppose, would have been like Black Mirror. You know, like it's just what you thought was happening isn't like, you know, the full story, and you just get, you know, taken on this ride. There was no mystery to season 2. Right. Like it's almost like they're just like, all right, let's make a short story with a horror element or some kind of I don't know, like shock factor, basically. And that's it. Like there was nothing to figure out. There was, I don't know, just basically every episode had it like this villain. The closest one I'd say that actually made me feel something, and that's probably just because I'm a parent, was the one where the FBI, whatever they were, you know, killing babies and being young forever. Yeah. That one where it's just like, that one got you thinking. But even at the end, it was just like, you know, it just felt so cheap. Like, oh, we both killed each other. Like there was there's no resolution to this. Like it changed nothing. Like, I don't know. It just felt weak. But that was a very interesting concept, I suppose, that they could have expanded on if they actually wanted to. It felt lazy. Yeah. The season felt lazy. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. In the solo pod, I talked about that, where it's an interesting world, interesting concept that you introduced here, and I think it would have worked better on a longer form format, a longer form medium of, you know, who's this guy, who's the woman he's talking to, what's his job, how did this start, why are you killing people? You know, a lot of that stuff would have been, I think, more entertaining. Have you expanded on a lot of those things that were introduced there? So,
yeah,
yep,
yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I can't really pick out one that was my favorite. They all just kind of blurred together. I wasn't really impressed by any of them. No. Just when one ended, I just pressed next episode and it just went right into it. And it's just like, all right, that was that. Some of the animation was pretty cool though. I like the one with the whale.
Yeah, the man. The man. The man.
No, the whale. The whales and the ice and.
That's even like the beach whale, and I was like, that wasn't a whale, that was a person.
Yeah, I like the animation and the actual story of that. Yeah, you know, didn't make any damn sense at all. Like, okay, like this person's a human in a world full of robots, and it's like, I feel bad about that, and then it's just like nothing comes from it. Like he just runs away from a whale basically, and it's like, whoa man, and the robots accept him or something. I don't know. I wasn't really. It looks, but the whole episode looked like remember the band The Gorillaz?
Yeah, of course.
like their music video. It was kind of like that, except a lot sharper, a lot anime version of like a Gorillaz music video. Yeah, so that's the one I like the best out of all of them.
Yeah, I would say so. The one you just referenced, the whale one, was called it's called Ice. It's from the same animators as my favorite one from season 1, Zima Blue. And again, yeah, just Zima Blue had all these concepts of like what makes a human, what makes consciousness, what makes a person a person. A lot of things that they touch on in things like Westworld. It's very interesting ideas, but there's really none of that. Again, no themes were really explored in season 2 at all that I could see.
And that's interesting too, coming from like that episode from season 1, and you're saying it's the same art. So maybe it's not like the same story, the same writers or whatever. Yeah, I don't really know how that works. Like, will like a different studio work on it or something like that? And maybe not a like straight up different studio, but just like you'd imagine that the person that oversaw animation in the story, I wonder if they were told like, yeah, okay, we're not gonna get into it like we did in season 1. We're just kind of like, we're just doing this. Just write a quick story, and if they came out and said their theme was changed, like. It's not going to be twists. It's just going to be like a mini horror story. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have gone in. Maybe that's why I don't like the show this season that much, is because I was expecting something like season 1, and they didn't tell me otherwise,
Yeah. I'm looking up.
But it is surprising that, something like that episode that you're talking about that made you feel that way.
Yeah.
And then you get this episode from season 2, and like the people that were on it, I imagine were pretty similar. So. Just a weird avenue to take.
Same animation company. Zima Blue was directed by Robert Valley, adapted script by Philip Glatt, created by Tim Miller, based on a short story written by Alistair Reynolds, as opposed to Ice, which was directed by the same guy, Robert Valley, written by Rich Larson. He based on a short story that was written by him. Adapted script was Philip Glatt, so he was the same guy, and Tim Miller created it, which was the same guy there, but a different writer. So it was a different writer, different short story.
Okay,
so that's the difference there. So,
well, I guess that would make sense because the writing sucked.
It did, yes,
compared to the other one.
Yeah, I was going to say something. Same writer, same director, direction of the thing. Yeah, just disappointing. Oh, that's what I was going to say was the Life Hutch, the one with Michael B. Jordan, where he crashes into the planet and the thing crushes his hand. I thought that was interesting just by the fact...
Robot malfunction.
Yeah.
Robot malfunction.
Yeah. I thought, you put this in front of somebody and they're like, that's live action. That's a person. And it wasn't. It was animated, but yeah, it's kind of incredible how far we've come from. Even I referenced, the Animatrix, which came out with the Matrix in 1999, 2000. And you go back and look at that kind of stuff, which had at that time, very lifelike looking animation. And you put that against this now, and it probably looks pretty antiquated.
Yeah. 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 I was thinking too. I'm like, I felt a little like, come on, this is cheating. This is basically people. Like, are these people?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm like, no, shit, this is still animation. So like, I felt like angry at first, but I'm like, I mean, I guess it's animation. Well, however you want to call it. Like there was the other one too with the giant.
Yeah.
And I mean, the people in that looked pretty real. Like you go up to the giant's eyeball, like when he was standing on the giant's face, and the eye was just like, oh, this is wow. Like the Michael B. Jordan one, that one definitely had looked more real. But just I think the 3 of the last 4, like just had like this. No, these are basically people. Yeah, this isn't animation. You just this is actually a short film that you made with people, actual actors.
Yeah, actual ass actors. Yep, dead ass actors. Yeah. Yeah, very disappointing. I was highly looking forward to more of that, more of the same from season 1. But yeah, unfortunate. I
guess the last thing I got, Bo Burnham.
Oh shit! Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. What did you think of it?
I thought it was a masterpiece. You know, I don't like to throw that word around.
It's very creative.
Very creative. I don't like to throw around the word masterpiece, but it was definitely that.
True.
You know, I think
you are a stickler for the word.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters to me if anything he recorded and put into the special was predetermined, or if it was planned, if it was scripted. Doesn't matter that much to me. It more matters, you know, the message he's trying to send, you know, the performances, the songwriting, the cinematography, the editing, everything he did himself, which I think is, you know, the most important thing. And just, you know, very, very well done. Very interesting. Probably one of the most interesting things made during the pandemic. I thought he commented on, he didn't really comment on the fact that it was a pandemic. I think you could probably, you know, watch this in 10 years and be like, why is he in this room? You know, what's going on with this? When was this made?
Yeah. Yeah, like what's the problem? Why can't you leave the room? Why are you freaking out so much?
Yeah. I think you know, he's very self-aware. He's a straight white man, and he makes that point multiple times. So I think it's sort of difficult to lob any criticisms toward him in the fact that you know, oh, you're a white guy and you're talking about capitalism. Well, you're benefiting from capitalism. Well, he knows that. He's well aware of that fact.
Yeah, and he says exactly that too. He's like, oh, why don't you? He's like, I forget what he was saying, but he's just like, and I'm sure you're saying to yourself, Bo, you're doing that right now. He's like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And even like the old Bo too, where he had the music video. It's like, why are you putting gold rims on a jet ski? And then he's just like, chorus is coming up.
Yeah, it's incredible. What was I gonna say? There's a couple songs in here that are fucking bangers. I would listen to them on my own without the special.
White Woman's Instagram.
White Woman Instagram was a good one. There was a couple that keep popping up on my TikTok.
So all my stupid friends are having stupid kids. You actually sent me that GIF, and I did, and I didn't watch it at that point, but I didn't recognize that was Bo Burnham, but I had a feeling it was coming from that. And then when I watched it, it's like, holy shit, he looks like Raggedy Jesus right now. And then it got to that point where he's just like, he did the song, and I'm like, that's what he sent me. I looked at Carrie. I was like, he sent me that.
Jeff Bezos, great song. You did it! Congratulations, Jeffrey Bezos. The one where it's
next song's gonna be "Rip Jeffrey Bezos. You died in a rocket because you thought your penis was so huge."
The sock one where you're singing with the How the World Works.
Yeah. That one was weird.
Yeah. Why do rich fucking people insist?
He's berating the sock at the end.
Yeah. Say, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. What? Yes, sir. Yeah. And then he's like still rips the sock. Yeah. To remark on a little bit of what you said earlier, if it was predetermined or scripted or whatever, like were you suggesting that like people were upset that it felt like what were you trying to say there?
Like there are moments in here where he's like setting up the equipment and he knocks something over, and it's like, well, was that scripted?
Yeah.
Was that scripted? And then there was actually somebody intercut it with part of a special from like 5 or 6 years ago, where he knocks over a water bottle, and then like on cue the song comes up like, you thought he could have tripped on the water, but it was scripted, ba, 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 and shit like that, where it's, you know, all of that stuff is just meant to be in there. He wouldn't put it in. He wouldn't put a moment in there where he just trips over a water bottle for no reason.
Yeah, I think everything in there was intentional. I don't think it was too creative. A lot of people are like calling it a genius, or him a genius for some of the stuff that he was putting on. Like, when he went from like the White Woman's Instagram, and he was just like, talking about how, I don't know. The general point was, it's just like everyone's just like focused on their phone and like, looking at it, just like swiping through this, or maybe I'm thinking the internet one. Yeah, the internet one, where did you want to see this? Like, there's something for everyone. And the whole song is kind of like, guys, you spend too much time on your phone, but like, I can see why, because it's a freaking trap, because anything you could ever possibly want to see is there. And then, he's trying to be like, send that awareness. And then when the song ends, it cuts abruptly to him in bed, looking at his phone. Yeah. And he's very honest about the fact that, he does it too.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to, honestly, it's just the way things work now. You have a phone, chances are you're on it at 11 o'clock at night laying in bed. That's just the way it is. And if you're not, congratulations, you're awesome and thumbs up. But realistically, a lot of people are doing exactly what Bo was portraying in this whole thing. And it's just, the transitions were all very smooth and I feel very intended. There was nothing there that he didn't intend to put in, or intend to mislead you. Be like, oh yeah, like this part's boring. He's just looking at his phone. But no, it had a purpose. It accents the song that he just sang.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at a list here.
Yeah. I thought the whole thing was pretty weird, but I still liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's very real. That's the thing. Like, it is. I think it was supposed to make some people feel weird. Like, you're supposed to understand it the way you want to understand it. And, I understood the message that he was sending, and maybe it's weird because it's weird to imagine that you are what you're seeing right now, basically. Yeah. Like you don't have any control of your life that you think of. Like, I'll get a little pop-up on my phone that tells me how much screen time I've had. And every time I see it, it's like, fuck me.
Well, the other side of that is...
So, yeah, I'm no better than that.
The other side of that is like, what would you be doing 20 years ago without a phone? And would you want a notification popping up and be like, you spent 8 hours a day this week doing nothing. You spent 8 hours a week fucking playing video games or whatever. You'd be doing something other with your time. That's
for sure. I'd be playing a video game or something. Read a book.
Maybe no.
But the thing is, like, people like read a book, but at the same time, I can look at news sites on my phone and read whatever I want on my phone. I can read a book on my phone. Like, that's just the way it is.
Listen
Books
to a book.
Are your phone now. Yeah. Like. There is actually more stuff to read now than I had before in just my little room.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a never-ending fire hose of content coming at you at all times. Yep.
Yes.
My favorite song, and the one I keep hearing over and over again on TikTok, but for some reason I don't get sick of it, is All Eyes on Me. It's the one that goes, it's almost over, it's just begun, don't overthink this, look in my eye, don't be scared, don't be shy, come on in, the water's fine. But he has the what do you call that, voice modulator on there. Yeah, it's creepy, but it's also auto-tune. Yeah. You say the ocean's rising, like I give a shit. You say the whole world's ending, honey, it already did. You're not going to slow it. Heaven knows you tried. Got it. Good. Now get inside. Oh, man. That's so fucking good. Woo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all his songs were entertaining. There was nothing like his old poppy stuff that he had. Like real wordsmith stuff. But, yeah. I mean, the songs that he had,
that's
you heard and you got the message that he was sending, and I think that's the important part. And there was no song that was like, all right, this is a dumb song. Like everything, like I enjoyed all of it. I like Bo.
Yep, they were all bangers from beginning to end. There were some, it's just the moments in there you're talking about being weird. Made you feel weird, I guess, right? Would be when he's turning 30. I'm turning 30.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Was that the one?
Feeling bad about, like, I was just like, damn, dude, like,
yeah.
But that's the thing. Like he's talking about all this suicide stuff, and I understand some people feel like that. Yeah. Like, it's just, I mean, the past year was tough on a lot of people, and. When he was just like, I'm not really gonna kill myself, and if you feel like you're gonna kill yourself, just don't. Like,
but then he had that moment. Wasn't that moment right afterwards where he's watching that moment back on him? Like it was it was being projected onto him.
No, that was
right.
Are you talking about? No, that was like a I know what you're saying, but I don't think it was that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was something else. But that was actually a fun little segment. He's like, yeah, this is me being pretentious. Criticizing myself because what I just watched. Like I thought that was funny. Like, and then this like kept going and going.
I loved
that was creative. I've never seen anything like that done before.
Loved the part where he parodies Twitch streamers and he's playing himself getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
Jesus. Hey, thanks for the 5 months.
I guess I'll cry more.
thanks for the 5 months.
Oh, thanks for the 5.
I was like, fuck. You nailed it. Jesus, you got everything.
Dude, my favorite thing though is like I guess I'll FaceTime with my mom that song.
Yeah.
And like he's like talking and he's like, I'm gonna watch my mom put the phone too close to her face and things like that. And he's like he's singing the song, but like him in the background is like he's like screaming at his mother and he's like you can tell he's like saying, Mom, get the phone the fuck away from your mouth. Move the fucking phone. And then he was just like, I'm sorry. Just completely going off on his mother. Hilarious.
Yeah. It's great.
And then the other part where he actually got outside the house.
Yeah.
And then like he got scared and he wanted to go back in, but the door was locked and he starts pounding on it. And like he's got the laugh track. Everyone's laughing at him as he's sliding down the door and he starts weeping into his knees.
Jesus.
I mean, I got the message there too, but it was still hilarious.
Yeah. What was that part? Was it near the end where he's like butt-ass naked in the chair? Was that after All Eyes on Me? Or where was that? I forget. I was like, wow, that's I didn't expect that part.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what that was after now.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, one of those things I'll be talking about at the end of the year. This and Mitchell's Machines. That's going on there, top 10. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was creative. Carrie was watching it with me for a bit. She's like, he's weirding me out. It's too creepy. Like,
that's the point, though.
It's funny because she was saying, he's too creepy looking like this. Point. And she preferred him from Promising Young Woman. Where he was the charmer, you know? But he was like, charmer, but, you know, kind of a dickhead in Promising Young Woman. I mean, so it's like this guy seems genuine and real and he just looks a little scruffy, but you'd rather the cute version of the guy that's covering up his buddy raping that chick. Oh, I understand. I get you. And she actually had a dream about the cute Bo Burnham asking her on a date.
No. Oh no.
that night she had a dream about Bo asking her on a date. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh no, Bo.
No, Bo. No.
Is she gonna check out In the Heights? In the Heights, the new Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I think she's probably going to because the main character in it was Hamilton's son.
Yeah.
And whether or not she actually liked Hamilton's son, she's going to watch Into the Heights because that character was once Hamilton's son, and that would complete her journey on everything Hamilton. You
so
understand?
It's less to do with Lin.
Just the sheer connection, the connection of it alone.
Less to do with Lin-Manuel Miranda writing it, just the Hamilton specifically connection.
Oh, right. He wrote it too. Yeah, I suppose that would be a good reason as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not sure. I don't know if she completely vibes with musicals or she just is just a history nerd, and what Hamilton did was like kind of I don't know, like a genre defining, you know, like it kind of rewrote like what musicals actually were, I feel like, in a way. So I don't know. I think Hamilton was very original, and what it did really, she like really respected. I'm not sure just your average musical, which Into the Heights actually seems to be. I don't know what it's about.
In the Heights, yep. Almost there. Got it. Almost
In the Heights. In the Heights, yep. Yeah. So I don't know what it's actually about, but as far as I can tell, it just seems like a musical, and I don't know if she vibes with that completely. I can tell you, I do not vibe with musicals, and I will probably not watch it unless she forces me to, and then I will hate watch it.
Have you, because she forced you, I feel like she owes you, right? Because she sat you down and eventually made you consume Hamilton, right?
Over a 3-day period. Yes.
So she owes you Palm Springs, because that was a thing that you guys were discussing last year.
Oh, wow, yeah. Oh man, she was so mad about that.
I remember that. We were talking about it like number 8 or whatever on our list, and you're talking about how Carrie was knocked into it. Like, no.
She was like, "This is just so weird. It's so weird." And I'm like, we just started. Yeah. We got to keep watching. And then like Groundhog Day kind of thing. I wonder if she would react like that for like Bill Murray's Groundhog Day, like, or would she be all right with it because it was like an '80s movie and I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't like Andy Samberg. I don't know how you can not like Andy Samberg.
What the fuck?
He is a national treasure.
He is. So, got anything else you want to talk about today? Anything bring to the table?
Oh, I think I brought a lot.
You did bring a lot.
I think I brought more than you thought I was.
You did. I texted you, what was it, 2 weeks ago? And I was like, so what's going on, bud? What you got on the docket? What you been watching this past month? They're like, this, and this. And I was like, what?
You're like, that's all you watched in a month? I was like, bro,
like, the fuck out of here.
We are not the same. All right.
I am built differently. Yes, I know. We know this.
Yes, you are. All my stupid friends are having stupid kids. Like that's kind of what you got to play to yourself in your head every now and then. It is not as simple as just putting something on and watching it. And you just consume so much damn media. I'm genuinely surprised your brains don't leak out of your head.
I mean, I don't remember it all. I don't keep it in the front of my head.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have a better a grasp on movies that you watch as opposed to like podcasts and things like that. But
books. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still though, that's you watching a large amount of television that I just cannot keep up with.
No, you can't.
But I think that list was pretty good. You consider that I watched 2 TV series and I don't know, probably like 3 movies. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I know. I didn't watch Mayor of Easttown, and I could tell you really wanted that to happen.
I want this discussion.
Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I'll get to it eventually.
Kate Winslet's the national treasure, even though she's not a American. But yeah. So, think that that'll do it for episode 116 of the Can I Say Something podcast. Maybe come back next week. We're gonna do a weekly wrap up, weekly recap, thoughts, feelings.
Maybe
of Loki, of Loki.
We'll go with the feeling.
Go with the feeling.
It's kind of like the off season, there's not a whole lot going on. I like it when you assign me something, that's cheap, preferably free, not $20.
Right.
I like when you were talking to that guy on the thing. You had said something like, I spent a lot of $20. Many a $20 on videos, probably too much a $20. I'm like, see, there is a limit. His limit is probably, I don't know, like 50. Mine, on the other hand, is 0. Anything higher than 0 is no bueno.
All right, great. So I'm sweating my balls off. You can hear my voice dying. So I think we'll.
Yeah, actually, I talked a lot too. My voice is a little scratchy. We're a little out of practice. Well, not you. I forgot how hard it is to talk so much.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll come back here. We're not going to be the midnight. We're not going to be the midnight boys. Pew pew. But we'll give a reaction. Pew pew. We'll give a reaction when we feel like it. How about that? How do you like them? How do you like them apples?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if we jump on, we got to do a weekly thing because Loki. I forgot all about that. So
you were like, well, maybe
I got to talk to you about Loki.
Well, maybe, and I was like,
we'll do a weekly thing for Loki.
So, anyways,
maybe
this has been. Can I say something? I've been Damien.
I've been Dave.
We'll see you next week. Bye bye.